Hi, everybody, and welcome back for week number 3 of Principles of Weight Training. This is Dr. Hardy's coming to you yet again for your brief overview and to-do list for this week. All right, so I've been reading through all of your replies on the discussion forum, and I gotta say, you guys are doing a great job with this. I really like some of the insight of why some of those frequently asked questions resonated with you. I find it so interesting because every time I read through that chapter and I read those frequently asked questions, I have a different one that kind of sticks out to me each and every time. So it's great hearing all of your opinions about the ones that stick out to you, because I think that's really important to understand as we go into some of this conceptual stuff, just what it is that interests you about weight training, what you want to know, and what you think other people need to know. The one piece of feedback I will give all of you is reading some of the replies, you're not quite getting it on those replies of what exactly I'm looking for. So simply saying, I agree with you and restating the same thing the person said before you is not a sufficient reply. I'm looking for you to add to the conversation. So that means a new piece of information, or you're going to add a personal anecdote. Hey, I've experienced this in this way, or even ask some questions to further the conversation, but simply just restating what the person has already said in their original post, or even worse, giving them feedback like, oh, I think you did a good job answering this. That's not what I'm looking for in this. I will provide that type of feedback to all of you. What I'm looking for is you all to have a conversation about these topics. So just consider it as if you were in the same room with this person and they mentioned, hey, here's a topic that I'm interested in. Maybe you have something to add to their story. Maybe you have a question that you want to have refined, and that's what we're looking for in that. So just keep that in mind as we move forward with future discussion forums, because we're going to have quite a few of them this semester. So just make sure that you're giving those appropriate replies. One other piece on that, I did have a question from someone in one of the classes I'm teaching this semester about, is there a word limit on discussions, or is there a word minimum? There is not a word minimum, but what I will tell you is none of these questions are designed to be answered in a single sentence. Think of these as a short essay. I want to know all about this. If you're only giving me one sentence, you're probably not going to get full credit because you can't answer the question that way. So make sure you add a couple of sentences, a little bit of depth, as you're writing your discussion posts, because that's how you can fully answer these questions. All right, so hopefully that clarifies that. All right, so this week we're going to be talking about muscle structure and function. This is chapter 3 in that Hessen textbook. Very short chapter. This is like a 4-page long chapter. This is all about, what does muscle structure look like? What does contraction mean? What does extension mean? What are the different types of contraction? We're going to be talking about isotonic, concentric, eccentric, isokinetic. I'm trying to see. Yeah, isometric as well in there. Isometric, isotonic, isokinetic. Understand the difference between those three things because they are very different. And then muscle contraction, concentric versus eccentric contraction. Those are two separate things. So make sure you understand those things. And then we're going to have a quiz over that information this week. And then our discussion forum. And I'll be frank, I haven't looked at it yet. Let's take a look here. Okay, so this is talking about the main 3 principles we will be discussing for this entire semester. Specificity, overload, and progression. The most important things to understand in weight training, and all 3 of those are so incredibly important in building a successful weight training program. So this discussion forum is going to be all about explain what each one of those is. Get into a little bit of depth. What is specificity? What's important about specificity? What's overload? What's progression? You understand what I'm saying. Really add some of that stuff. And then I want you to also detail a goal. So there's 2 different pieces to this. Let's say you want to, as I have in here, gain lower body strength. How are you going to reach that goal using the concepts of specificity, overload, and progression as you're building out your weight training program? So that's what I'm looking for you in this reply. All right. that is everything I have for you this week. Hopefully that clarifies things for you. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Again, my email is rhardies@iwcc.edu. That's RHARDIES. Reach out. I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can with a response. But I think everything should be fairly straightforward for you, but I'm happy to answer questions that do come up. All right, that's it for now. So I will simply say good luck this week, and we'll see you again next time.